Well, this video is really going to try to, I'm not sure if the stabilization is on, focus on World War III. Man, I don't like the focus. It's actually a little better, but do I have to get that close? Yeah, I'm going to have to. You know, I've had these hundreds of people. Most of y'all haven't even seen them because I've already blocked their channel, erased their comments because it's my channel. You know, only people who are trying to profit off their channel leave up all comments, positive and negative. I don't really give a fuck what you think. I've just in the last few months, I've had 2 more attempted murders on me. One of them an ice pick, and because I'm a Jew, I'm much more concerned about that being in an area. And I'm a little thrown off. I may have to re-record this. There you go. May have to re-record this because I was watching live Doppler and the model it followed, and it was magical. I've never seen nothing like it. We have a huge mass of water coming off the Pacific, as Hayes predicted. That's the only meteorologist that I listen to. I've studied meteorology among many other subjects, and I've spent my whole life studying trains, you know what I'm saying, and meth pipes, you know, and stuff like that, and beer brands, and you know. Okay, it's seems to do a little better if I keep it close. I was looking at it and got this mass of water coming at me. I thought it was going to be a pretty damp, dreary night. Actually, today, a Hispanic couple offered me a tent, and I had to remind them what thousands of people in this town know, which is my, hey, hobo string cheese. Hobo string cheese. You know, you bitching about all your little minor little bullshit health problems and shit for 8 months now, actually 9 months. Yeah, I like being here because cops will bust you, arrest you here. Go to the south. That's where they murdered the cop last night. Up one person. He got killed in a SWAT shootout. So they've been a little bit on edge. And actually, they have solved a hit and run crime. I'm the one that reported the abandoned car with the engine running and the lights on. I got a feeling this is going to take 20 something minutes because just looking at the right as it got to the present moment and stuff, as it was already starting to break up. It's already starting to form. It's like this massive downdraft of the air from collision of the air that's coming from the west and then from the southwest. Almost all of Texas's water does not come off the Gulf of Mexico. It comes from the Pacific Ocean. It has crossed all the way across Mexico without dropping and gotten here. Oh, it's dropped some in Mexico, I'm sure, but that's a desert area. It's, it's similar to the meteorology of Arizona and their monsoonal stuff. Anyway, and all of a sudden this like perfectly circle, and it was even going in circulars, and then it opened at one end, and it's heading straight. The direction is straight for where I'm at, from southwest to northeast, and it looks like I might be in the clear for a while. Although I'm kind of, as you can tell, I'm kind of bundled up here, and it's not that cold, but I don't want any cold wind on me. It's going to probably drop a few degrees, and it looked like it's going to drop at least maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 inches again. We're for this area, our annual total is about way over around 50, 60 inches or something, maybe, when it used to be only 36. So today I did take the time in between reading the comments of people who are, let's just say, an exception to Darwin's rule. You don't even know what that fucking means, do you? I'm sorry. I try to be polite to really stupid people, but it usually gets me nowhere. Especially if they're a drunk or drug addict or a career criminal, hobo, gangsta. But today, reviewing in the media, actually, I spent most of the day in the media. I come back to this medium to kind of do my stuff. I get phenomenal upload speeds here. I don't have to use no Wi-Fi or anything. The Wi-Fi actually slows me down. Oh, I got a feeling this is going to go 25, 30 minutes. But then Hobo Shoestring takes his time. I think I ran across a couple of his videos. I guess he's showing scenery, an hour and 45 minutes. Look, a long time ago. It's actually almost 7 years ago. I made a tutorial video on YouTube. I know I'm going off because I really don't want to think about the fact that my people are being attacked from the north, the south, and the east, literally trying to push them into the ocean. And Biden is doing nothing. Oh, yes, a little assist on the rockets coming out, but it's actually been Israeli, Iron Dome rockets that have been taking out. I think Biden's been claiming credit for what actually Israel's been doing and returning fire on the media. Is just, I really got pissed off today because, pretty much the biggest Facebook media outlet in Maine, that whole kind of region, is actually repeated word for word the Hamas press release, claiming that there's all these 36 babies in that hospital, well, underneath that hospital, and they're out of fuel and there's no electricity and all this lies and bullshit. And that they're trapped. They were trapped there by Hamas because almost everybody in the building is Hamas. 95% of the patients are wounded Hamas soldiers, terrorists. And they're using, there's actually almost nobody in the building. It's a civilian, but they're still using this human shield for global sympathy. And please let me remind you of the 300,000 that marched in London, yesterday? Day before, yeah. Yesterday. And 3 days ago, 1,000 students, all of them apparently, foreign born. 75% of our graduate degrees go to foreigners, both at Texas UT and Texas A&M. We're in the education business just like England. That's what really amused me is one dick a little while ago goes, England's not a real country and stuff like that. I'm sorry. I really am. It must really suck to be you. That you have all these delusions. That's the problem with schizophrenics is they're unaware of the fact that they're fucking completely nuts. That's almost everybody that's come on here. One guy comes on and he shows what appears to be a real picture of himself, and oh my God, I know he's definitely never had a woman in his life. Whoo! Oh, I'm doing a little hobo stuff. I'm getting more dramatic. Somebody goes like, "Man, you're a bad, you're act funny." Or shit, talk about it, hobo. It is bullshit. I rode the cyanide train. Dude, we have so many unpatriotic, disloyal, pro-terrorist motherfuckers in this country because That's what the demonstration at the University of Texas, happening all around this country. The biggest mass that I've seen is so far has been London. I'm just not really looking that hard. It just comes up on my feed because I do subscribe to IDF. They got some of the hottest looking chicks on this planet. Israeli Defense Forces, you go, girl. They'll got some. I've always been big fans of IDF. We're the mighty warrior nation, actually, that killed, you know, that payback was supposed to end at 10 generations, according to God's laws. But long ago, we recorded the first really big time genocide on this planet because they were really, truly bad. The Philistine, Amalekites, Canaanites, whatever you want to call them, the baby roasting, baby eating, amoral, immoral people that fill that land that belongs to us now. And rightfully so, by the rules of conquest and the fact that we absorbed one of those tribes because they were cunning enough to dress in rags and eat moldy bread and act like they were all Forrest Gumps. Like we just felt pity for them, didn't want to kill them, man, woman, and child. Because when we discovered that they had cunning and had been able to trick us, this is something that's really essential in politics, in warfare, and in business. You've got to be able to deceive your competitors, your combatant, your enemy combatant. You got to. So we absorb one tribe of them. We carry their genetics, so therefore we have the only biological claim to the first occupants of what y'all call Palestine now. The land of Palestine, land of Israel. We absorb that. See, I'm trying to get away at 12 minutes. I'm trying to get away from the hobo thing, and actually, let me stop here for a minute and give you the basic formula. That's why almost without exception, only a few of the hundreds of people that have attacked me and I've blocked and erased their comments and stuff like that. That's why they don't show it. They used to stay on the count. Google's altering its, trying to get constant updates for YouTube and other apps and stuff. They're trying to get shit working a little bit better. But when I started watching YouTube, about 9-10 years ago, I noticed that the successful shows all had the same formula. If you were over about 25 or 30, you had to get behind the camera. You had to kind of talk like me, like somebody just commented on about how I talk, and people all the time when they're listening to me, kind of give a discourse and stuff like that, they go like, "You're not old" and stuff. No, trust me, I'm old. I'm old as dirt. But I use the vernacular, I use the words of young people, and have some acquaintance with popular culture, and certainly have a greater gift for making people laugh than. So, I'm still young, actually young, very young at heart. Uh, I'm dealing with some guy who's solely. So anyway, I'm going to talk the way I want to fucking talk. This is my channel. It's not yours. If you think you can come on here and bully me, I didn't go on Hobo's channel and bully him and bully all his followers. They came to me and tried to bully me, threaten me. There was a death threat. Don't go near the tracks. You ain't going to make it out and all this kind of shit. Please, I've been in the combat zone known as Austin, Texas, for 2 years, living in the streets. Hundreds and hundreds of fights. I've even gone up against guys with guns, and one guy had a Japanese katana, Japanese sword and stuff. Still bluffed him and his buddy, who had the big, like super expensive razor sharp pry bar. There, that was totally professional grade shit. That was, and all kinds of others. I mean, in the last few months, I've been hit upside the head with a tree limb that's exact shape and size of a baseball bat. It actually broke, but my jaw didn't. I couldn't even. Then got an ice pick in the neck because I'm Jewish, I'm straight, and I'm white. The amount of hate in America and the educational retardation, I'm actually going to think I'm just going to stick on that, is that you people are commenting, you really don't know me, and if you've had any education at all, actually, I'll posit the same question here I did right at University of Texas thousands of times, and on the only big newspaper in this region, which is super liberal, super uneducated. Journalists are the kids that can't make it in the English department. I'm a former A+ English department member. I never even went to the department meetings. I had no intention of getting like a PhD, teaching it, although I have to too many people. I'm going to issue here, creeping up on 18 minutes, I'm going to issue a challenge to all you, actually to the UT professors that I put on the spot. Even they can't answer this question unless I usually give them at least 3 or sometimes the 4th clue as to who is one of the most important histories and figures in history, and certainly in science. This is my question. I'm getting off topic because I think I'm going to have to keep Israel for the war on Israel, World War III, for a whole nother show, because y'all mostly want to keep touching yourselves, touching your PPs, and you keep trying to touch my PP. All you gay guys that are, there's nothing wrong with that, to quote Jerry Steinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay or a rapist like the hobo Angel Maturino Resendez. 23 murders, I don't know how many rapes. But what I think was mostly just dead 80-year-old women, shit like that. This is the question. Because almost none of you make it list to this, because you got attention span syndrome disorder. Television attention span syndrome disorder. What person in history, that means they're dead, made this communication possible and created the ease and luxury of our modern lives? That his scientific work is what made all of this possible. The credit really belongs to just one person, and they never say his name or teach him in a public school. Not even at the University of Texas or at Texas A&M, because I ask this question all the time to see if a person is really has a decent education. Tell me, all you brilliant, hobo-loving career criminals and stuff like that, who keep calling me dumb and all this kind of shit, and that Jerry going all Jerry Springer on me and shit like that. I think I'm gonna end this right at 20 minutes, because most of y'all I can see exactly how long y'all watch. What's the name of, I'll give you one clue. It was a man. It wasn't Madame Curie. What's the name of the man who made all this possible? And the ease and luxury of your life possible. This communication possible. It's only one answer. It's now 20 minutes and I'm actually going to retitle this as a challenge to hobo shoestring. Even hobo couldn't have his wonderful life of adventure at the expense of other people and stuff without the genius of this one man who was extremely modest, far more modest, and stayed out of the public eye. That would be my first clue if I give you one. But who was it? I've already given everybody, and they actually have, all the liberals actually pay them money, and they have about the largest. There's actually one television station that has slightly more Facebook followers, but nobody actually reads the Facebook on the television stations around here. What is the name of that man? Okay, I'm gonna give you one clue. I did give him one clue. In Austin, because we're voting on school vouchers here, school choice for parents. So that's why I brought it up at all, is because most of you, all of you really, are product of public schools. What is the name of the man that made it possible? First clue, he never went to school, public or private. I think later he went to university to teach, but he never went to be taught. And he made this communication possible. I'll give you a second clue. It wasn't Marconi. Okay? Is that enough? And keep it coming. All you're doing. See, what y'all don't get is that I have no intention, unlike Hobo, of becoming monetized. I'm going to remain my comedic, vulgar self. I'm not going to alter. Now, like when I give lectures in science and stuff like that, I behave and adapt the clean speech of an educator and a professional. Although sometimes I throw in vulgarities if it has some comedic relief, because you need to make your audience laugh every now and then. 24 minutes. There's your question. Who's the man who made your life easy and made this communication, all communications, possible? Who was that?